How come the Indiana Pacers are that good this season? It is safe to say that the Indiana Pacers are one of the hottest teams in the 23-24 NBA season. It seems like the Pacers were still going through a rebuilding process, but what coach Rick Carlisle is doing with the team is very impressive. The Pacers made it to the in-season tournament finals, defeating the top teams in the East, the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, on their way to do so. The Pacers are currently sitting in the underwhelming 8th seed in the conference, but worth mentioning that both the Pacers and the Lakers seem to had quite a drop-off as they went on a long road trip after 2 road games in Vegas. And it would be an understatement to say that both of these teams need some home time. What makes the Pacers that good is their fluid offense. They lead the league with 127.1 points per game while shooting a league best 50.5% from the field. The Pacers also dish out the most assists at 30.7 per game, are second in block shots with 6.5 per game, and are 10th in 3-point percentage with 37.8. But they were 5th right before going on the road trip for so long. These numbers explain a lot, but the real potential and space for improvement are on the defensive end of the floor. The Pacers lead the league, allowing only 10.2 3-pointers per game and are 5th, allowing 24.7 assists per game. They're also in solid 12th place, allowing 43.8 rebounds per game, but the rest of the defensive stats are not good at all. The Pacers are among the bottom 3 teams in the league in points allowed with 126.1 per game, field goal percentage allowed with 49.9 and 3-point percentage with 39.1%. The Pacers are a very good team even with these numbers, but improving on defense would make them a real contender in the East. As of recent, the Pacers are reported to show interest in OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. Here's a fun little trade I want to propose. Benedict Mathurin, Aaron Naismith, and 2 unprotected first-round picks for OG Anunoby and or Pascal Siakam. With Pascal, you probably have to throw in a TJ McConnell or something like that to make the salaries work. Don't forget that the second apron is coming next year and it's going to make things a lot harder on expensive teams. The Pacers would have to send out at least $10.5 million in salary to acquire Anunoby. That should work with Benedict Mathurin, and a minimum of $29.7 million to bring in Siakam. Indiana currently has cap space and could in the summer, but no one really expects this from the Pacers as they haven't won a playoff game in the last 5 seasons. After being swept by the Cavs in the 16-17 season, the Pacers traded their superstar Paul George to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. Both of them became all-stars with the Pacers, but they never led the team deeper than the first round of the playoffs. In 2021, Oladipo was traded to the Houston Rockets as a part of a 4-team deal that sent James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets. The following year, Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a 2023 second-round pick were sent to the Sacramento Kings in exchange for Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. This deal was seen as just another move in the rebuilding process, but Haliburton emerged as the franchise player for the Pacers. Last season, Haliburton made his All-Star debut and averaged 20.7 points and 10.4 assists per game going into this season. The Pacers signed him to a 5-year designated maximum contract extension that could be worth up to $260 million. Many were stunned by this contract, but the point guard is proving that the Pacers made the right decision. Right now, Haliburton looks like a perennial All-Star, dare I say a perennial MVP candidate that can definitely lead a team to a championship given the right players around him. Despite the recent drop-off, here are Haliburton's stats from before the in-season tournament's finals. Tyrese is leading the league with 12.1 assists per game and was ranked 13th with 26.9 points per game. He also shoots 52.5 from the field, which is impressive for a point guard, and is 16th in the league with 44.1% from long range, and first among starting point guards. If you're still a Haliburton doubter, let's look at some advanced stats. He's right now 2nd in the league in VORP. If you don't know what VORP is, it is value over replacement, and generally if you just look at the VORP leaders, you basically see the best players in the league. He is 3rd behind Jokic and Embiid in box plus minus. If Haliburton keeps playing this well, there is no doubt that he will be in the MVP conversation at the end of the season, depending on where the Pacers end up in the city. It is still a huge question if the Pacers will keep this roster or if they will be active on the trade market. Buddy Hield and Miles Turner have been on the trading block for years now, and maybe this is the time for them to go. In my opinion, I wouldn't give up Miles Turner. He's a very versatile big. He can knock shots from 3-point range. He can do a little bit of everything. Maybe he's not an all-star caliber center, but I think that he's great value for money. The rest of the roster is packed with young talent, and with Haliburton leading the way, the sky's the limit for this Pacers team. With all due respect to the Pacers, the biggest surprise so far this season is the Minnesota Timberwolves. I made a video breaking down their success, so if you want to check it out, click the video right here.